All right, guys, let's continue with the next part. Today's guys having multiple plans we have, and lots of core concepts we are going to discuss today, right? Agenda is very much critical, very much required if you really use some internet services, or I can say if you really use some kind of cloud computing, right? So today, guys, we are going to talk on one of the concept that we use a lot in internet, or I can say in the public cloud world. That's called CDN, content content delivery network. Okay, CDN. Okay, and AWS has one product called CloudFront, right? So we are going to discuss a CloudFront today. Okay, so by the end of the today class, you will guys will be comfortable on a service called CloudFront, and plus you will be comfortable on the concept called CDN. Okay, but uh, but for this concept, guys, what I'm going to do, I'm showing you some kind of design, right? How you can design and cloud services. Okay, what I mean by this again, by end of the today's class, you come to know what I'm talking about the design. But technically, I am showing one demo where we are going to integrate EC2 services with EBS and with S3. Okay, so my today's topic, guys, will start from here. We'll start from here. We are going to do something on the EC2 services. Okay, and then I'll show you some kind of challenges we'll face over here. And to solve those challenges, we will integrate EBS to the EC2. Okay, that will help us to solve something. Okay, then we might also again face some kind of limitations over there. Then we'll integrate S3 with EC2, and then again we'll find some maybe some kind of challenges have to move to a service called CloudFront. Okay, so it's a long class, but almost everything whatever we need in EC2, EBS, S3, so it will be a quick revision for you. Okay, so I think it might take 15 or 20 minutes in totality to again cover the task of EC2, EBS, and S3, and then we will move to our main topic for today, that is CloudFront. Okay, and again, guys, by default, I would like to give you one task almost every day of this AWS classes, almost every day. Whenever I pick some topic, maybe today I'm going to pick CloudFront. Okay, and maybe today we are going to integrate S3 with CloudFront or S3 with EC2 or something like this, right? I highly suggest, guys. Right now I am doing all those tasks from the web UI, but after you practice this, because same task you have to again practice at your own. Okay, after you practice this task, what I suggest, try to solve the same task with the CLI. So what is CLI? In the last class we discussed how to use CLI. We have already discussed. Plus, how to create your own commands in the CLI. For example, today I'm going to introduce CloudFront as one of the service. What is this? We will discuss in a minute. Okay. So maybe today I might not tell you the command of the CloudFront, but the approach that I used in my last classes of the CLI. If you understand that approach, right? Because I explained that approach from very basic side. So if you really understand those approach, right, any kind of service in AWS, if you want to configure from the command line or from the CLI, you can very easily configure it. So guys, it is, you can take this is the by default task or the homework of all of my upcoming classes. My intention is, guys, because technically and finally, when you get a chance to work on some kind of great projects. Okay, normally in the industries, or if you guys may be working on some project, because a lot of corporate guys over here, most of the time you will see now we really appreciate, or really we like to work on the world of automation, or we would like to work on the world of DevOps. Okay, so In the DevOps or in the automation world, normally we don't work on this kind of graphical screen, or we don't work on this kind of web UI. Okay, if you know what exactly happening behind the scene, or most probably if you know the respective commands. Okay, so you don't have to work here, and if you know the commands, you can use this command in some kind of programming language or a scripting language, maybe Python scripting language or Perl scripting language or shell scripting or PowerShell somewhere, right? And we can we can automate the thing. If you want, I will show you in my upcoming class how we can automate. Is not big challenge. The big challenge is knowing the command. Because knowing any language in the world, right, anybody can learn any of the language. It's not a big deal. But if you don't know the commands, right, nothing, nobody will gonna help us. Okay, so I suggest guys to, I want you guys to be very much comfortable with the CLI. Maybe initial classes you might struggle, you might face some challenges, you might not able to properly link it. But yeah, if you keep on trying and trying and trying, after maybe fail 100 times, 101 time, or one time, you will 100% succeed. Okay, but just keep in the one thing in your mind, the approach I have given to you in my last class. Okay, so what you're seeing guys in the front of this screen right now, this my plan. Today we are again going to talk EC2 EBS S3 as a quick revision, because my plan is not to revise. My plan is to create some kind of design over here, okay, for deploying some services. And then we will finally move to a program called CDN, and there we're gonna use a service called CloudFront. So let me guys start step by steps. So what's my plan? First of all, I will moving to myself into Mumbai data center. Okay, and I would like to use EC2 as a services. And understand one thing, guys. Why? Let me first shut down this OS. So my OS is still running. Maybe let me shut down, because now my system maximum limit has exhausted. So they are charging me, but I forget to shut down. So they're still charging me because they are the Linux instances. So they have a capability to charge per minute basis. So every minute they are charging me. But if you're using some Windows instances, they are normally charged per hourly basis. Okay. So yeah. So what exactly we are going to do? Let me do it step by step. Very interesting, guys. Demonstration we are going to do. Very much powerful concepts, and but it is very much useful if you deploy any real services on the real world, right? So it is something like this, guys. First of all, we are going to launch one instance. Okay, instance means the operating system. And idea is pretty simple, guys. Why you launch the operating system? Okay, the only reason is because we have some program. We have to run the program. Or we can use one more word here. We have some server. We have to run some server here. The same thing. So we have some server, and we would like to run the server on the top of the OS. Okay, which server depends, guys, which kind of services you would like to provide to your customers. And customers is, guys, it is known as client. So you want your client, they will have a service for mail services, okay, file transfer services. They want to see your website, means web services. So depend, guys, multiple servers available in the market. So my plan today is to run web server on the top of this OS. So the client of the web server is called web client. They can go and connect to this web server and can get the services. Okay, but how to configure web server? What exactly meaning of web server? So guys, in the AWS training, as such, we don't require to know much, but but as a prerequisite for this class, I have already shared you one of my YouTube class where I explain you from very basics what exactly the web server is, okay, and how we configure it. Okay, even though I will show you very quickly one more time, but I think you guys have gone through my classes and you know everything about the web server, I believe. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to launch one more instance, one more OS, and right now I'm going to pick AWS Linux version 2. The only reason is why I'm picking this, right? Because they have a capability to provide um, connectivity of this OS from the web portal. So I don't have to use PuTTY to connect. So it will save my time. Okay. So go for T2 Macro again in Mumbai, where they launch by default. They pick one of the data center. Okay, so it is not important for me to do anything here. Again, go for 8 GB hard disk. That's okay for me. But understand one thing, guys. A very small point that I'm going to touch in a minute. Okay, the point is this OS that I'm going to install are going to install in this hard disk, and you guys know this hard disk called root hard disk, and you guys know about root hard disk. Right, for example, right now in my Windows, in my laptop, I have a hard disk of some, let's say, 500 GB hard disk, and my entire Windows installed in that hard disk. And guys, whenever you install any OS on the hard disk, you always create a parts. So if you talk about my laptop, so I have one main person called C drive. Okay, and C drive is the one who is getting the entire space or my entire OS installed on the C drive. If you talk about my Windows, right? It means due to any reason, if my Windows corrupt or we have to reformat my C drive, okay, the entire data that I put in this drive, in this storage, will be terminated. So what I'm talking about, format, reformat, partition. So I think, guys, two classes I already shared with you. Those guys who are new in this technological world, who don't know what is format and partition. So I think you guys have gone through the videos and you know everything about it. Okay. So the entire OS right now, because this is a Linux OS, so instead of C drive in the Linux, we have the main drive called slash. So entire slash drive are getting the space from this storage. Or I can say, I can say the slash drive of my Linux has the total size of 8 GB. Or I can say one more thing, whatever I store after my OS installed, okay, any data I will copy here, every data will be copied inside this folder or inside the storage or inside this drive. Same thing. But drive is just like folder name, right? But technically everything that is stored in your drive, it will store finally in your partitions or in your hard disk. Okay. So what I'm talking about, it means it means if you store any important data, confidential data, sensitive data, okay, or data that you want to keep it forever, okay, and if you store this data in your C drive or in a slash drive, okay, and what if, guys, if your Windows got corrupted? What if your Linux goes corrupted? So maybe you have to maybe you have to reinstall the entire Linux. When if you reinstall the entire Linux, that this complete space gone, and again they store the new data, or again they format and store the new data. So okay, obviously your new OS will come up. Okay, but the only challenge is because this entire storage or person reformatted, or your older data removed, or in the same storage, this is the same space where you also store your this important data or some sensitive data and data that you want to keep it forever, that also been lost. Okay. So I will go show you. I'm going to show you this demo. Even though you guys know we already discussed, but the example that I'm going to pick, because today I'm going to configure a web server, or in the web server we have to run our website, or you can say web app, same thing. And guys, if you run any website on the top of web server, it is also known as deploy. So we are going to deploy a web app. But what is web app? Web app contains some code, some pages, some data. Okay, and where you store your data? In the storage. But right now in this OS, we have only one storage, only one partition, that is less partition, and the size of this partition is 8 GB. They're keeping from the root volume. Okay, so it means if you put your if you put your data or the code of your website and copy here, so that your web server will host it, so that entire world will see it, and your client will see it. But what happened if this OS got corrupted? You have to reinstall. But if you reinstall, this space got terminated. Again, we have to reinstall. So entire data, your code, your data, what I put there, images, videos, everything will be will be removed. Okay. So how to solve this? Right. For solving this, we have to use some external storage, and some of the external storage we are going to use EBS, and some of the external storage for some purpose we are going to use S3. Okay, so one code, one website, but some data we will going to put in EBS, some data of the website we are going to put in S3. Why different product we are going to use, I will explain you after some time. And then finally we will use CloudFront for something. Okay, but this is a high level guys description I have given you. So finally I'm going to launch this server. It's called web server. Okay, and let me go ahead and launch, and let me attach my key so that I can log in. So why we launch this OS? The reason is this OS is launch running in the one of the data center in the Mumbai, and the data center they use is 1B in Mumbai. And why we launched this OS? Because my plan is to deploy, or I can say my plan is to run the web server here. Okay, and then guys, there will be a lot of web server available in the market. We are going to use a web server, or we are going to use one of the product available in the market for web server is Apache web server. So Apache is a, we can say, is a one kind of company or one kind of community. They have a product called HTTPD. So this is the product through which, right, after install this product, you can set up your own web server. Okay, so that's what we are going to do. And because this system is Linux system, normally in the Linux, if you want to install any software guys is also known as package. So if you install any packages, then we have to use a command called yum. Okay, but anybody who use a Debian Linux or Ubuntu, you can use apt or apt-get command. But this Linux OS is Amazon Linux. In Amazon Linux or in Red Hat Linux, we normally use yum command to install the software. Okay, what is yum command? I think you guys, if you go through my basic class of Linux, you know what is yum command. But by chance anybody missed those classes, so that might be one of the reason I am just keep on again explaining you some of the basic concepts, so that you can link with the main concept here. So let me connect with this OS directly from here. Okay, so now guys, start from here. So this OS is running on the cloud. Let me log in with the root account. These are the commands you guys know. uh, let me do one thing. Let me connect with the putty, because I don't think so they have the option here to increase the font. I don't think so. I don't even use much this terminal. Maybe they might have, maybe. Let me use putty. So I have this IP address. Let me use putty. So this is the EC2. Okay, and my password. So guys, today's class is very important, because tomorrow class we are going to understand some more advanced concept. There's a lot of advanced services in the Amazon, like global accelerator, like accelerator, transfer accelerator. So a lot of very interesting advanced concept we are going to discuss tomorrow. Okay, but today when I go for CloudFront, a lot of base of tomorrow topics will be covered. Okay, so just try to understand this concept. Right now for initial 10-20 minutes, I'm quickly revising the thing. My intention is not to revise. My actual intention is to set the first context or the demo, I can say, so that when I go for CloudFront, you understand why we are using the CloudFront. Okay, so let me log in with the root account, because root has a power to do and run any of the commands. And now we are going to install some software. It's called HTTPD. Okay, and why we are installing this software? Because by this software, I say yes. By this software, we will have Apache software installed or web server installed. Okay, now web server installed. Now what we have to do? We have to start the services. So this is the command we can use to start the services. So that's guys. There's only two commands. Let me run the history. There's only two commands. Just by running two commands, now this system will work as a web server. Okay, one more thing you can do, when you start the service, is temporary, means after your system reboot, your service automatic stops. So if you want to make your service permanent after reboot, you can use enable command. Okay, then this command guys make your service permanent at the boot time. Boot time means after system reboot, your service automatic starts after next reboot. Okay, so that's what we done. And if you guys again go through my classes, I told you there, if you configuring the web server and if you use this product. Okay, so by default guys, this product say if you want to, because what is web server is a web server, right? And why we want you web server, so that any website you have, or I can say any web pages you have, so whatever the web page is created by your developer in HTML or PHP or some other languages, let's say HTML, so these pages you can share to the public world, and this sharing is called deploying, or I can say hosting. So you can host your web pages, or web page means website. Okay, but in Apache web server, if you want to deploy a page, right, you have to keep this page in a respective folder, and the folder name by default is this one. So there's a by default folder you can change. If you go to my some next classes or Apache server, I show I told you there how to change the folder name. But this is a by default folder, and this folder is also known as document root. So this is the root or document where we have to keep all the document or all the web pages of the website. But this is the new server I had created right now. So by default, this folder is empty. Okay, and if you have any developer, they will go and create a website, uh, copy these pages here. But just for testing, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create my own pages here with a name called, let's say, lw.html. So I'm going to create my own pages here. VI is a text editor through which we can create a file. Okay, and those who don't know how to use VI, just press I, insert, and say welcome, and whatever you want to type in a website, you can type here. That's all. So very simple, straightforward website. Just save the file, press escape key, then colon WQ, file saved. And if you want to see file created, but understand one thing, guys. If you want this web page with this content that I created here, right? If you want this page to be given and provided to the client, they can see this content, or they can see this web page, or they can see this website. Okay, then you have to copy this page in this folder, because by default web server will is read the web pages from this folder only. So let me check very quickly. The good thing is, guys, this system is in the AWS cloud, and AWS cloud has provided me a public IP, or because I have a public IP, so anybody in the world who know my public IP, they can see this site. So I click here, right? Even though, guys, you can also try. If you write this, and because my page name is LWHTML, if you hit enter, what you will see, right, that the site that I created, it is visible to you. But maybe, maybe they might not open, and you guys know the reason. The reason is pretty simple, right? Whenever you you launch any OS in the AWS cloud, okay, so in the front of every OS in the AWS cloud, is called EC2 instances, AWS put one firewall, one security group. And obviously, guys, when I say firewall security group, what they do, they say anybody who is coming from the outside world is called inbound traffic. Firewall say no, we don't allow you. We only allow you the rules that is created on me. Okay, but understand one thing, guys. If anybody come from outside world to you, why are they coming to you? Because you are the server. You are the one who's serving something. Right now, in your case, right now in my case, you are the web server. Okay, so any client, anybody outside world who is coming to you, so they are normally treated as a client. They say, I'm the client, I want you to please serve me. Or because you are the web server, so I will connect to your program. It's called web services. And guys, the networking world, every service has their own program number or port number. And by default, web server guys work on a port number called 80. So what do you have to do? You have to go to firewall and say, anybody from outside world come in and try to connect to the port number or web server on 80 port, allow it. Okay, you guys know how to do it. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, I'll go to my instance again, and this is my instance, and you guys know how to set the firewall. I click here. Here we have option called security. In the security, I'll go and click on my security group. So this is my security group open, or I can say firewall open. And my inbound rule, you can see they only allow by default 22 port, because that is the reason, guys, we can do we have done SSH or remote login. I go and edit. Okay, and let me add one more rule and say, because guys, HTTP, you guys know, they work on a protocol called HTTP. So I just go here and say anybody who come via the protocol called HTTP on port number 80, because normally HTTP work on 80 port, that we can change. But if anybody come on this protocol with port number 80 from anywhere in the world, allow it. Okay. So guys, again, I'm not repeating this concept because we discussed security group already in detail, but I just want to show you one more time. That is the reason I just come to this page. Now, in this instance, anybody come, firewall won't stop because of the restriction, right? Because we allow on the firewall. Now, anybody who know my IP address, they refresh and they can see the content. Even though guys, the public IP, you can also open this website by this particular URL. So finally, what we had, we have EC2 instances, right? Why we launched this? Because we have configure web server. And why we configure web server? Because we would like to deploy or run our website. But now, guys, interesting thing is just try to understand one small thing, right? The most interesting thing over here is, or very important thing to notice here is, right? If you see here, right, as a broader angle, right, you see we have a EC2 instance, first thing. Second thing, we have a Apache web server. Second thing, or third, we have a website page or content. Third thing, okay, which is critical for us, okay, which is sensitive for us. Understand one thing, guys. By chance, if your always goes terminated, your hard disk fail. EC2 instance we can launch again one more time, right? Because it's come from AMI, we have to again install it. So you don't lose anything. Maybe they shut down, but technically, if you talk about the data perspective, I won't lose any data here. Okay, or maybe guys, because web service come from software called HTTP. If your hard disk got corrupted, yeah, right. Again, you can just go and download the software and install it. This software is free and available in the market. Install it. Okay, but by chance, because right now, if you again, if I again mention here, EC2 instance is running with Linux OS. Your Linux OS, your software, your website, all those three things is running in one single hard disk, or they keep their data, or they have put this data right now in one single hard disk. So if you go if you go to the storage, and guys, right now we are only using one single hard disk. It's called a root hard disk. And all those three things, OS, installation means data, a website or web server, software, HTTPD, or website data. Which data I'm talking about? I'm talking about this data. Everything is stored in single in single hard disk. It's called root device. And right now, guys, my root device size is what? 8 GB. Okay, and by the way, guys, in root device, this is because of this installation, they automatically create one person for me. They have created one person, and this person they link to a drive called slash drive. So I can say I can say the entire 8 GB's person has been linked or mounted to slash drive. All the data, all the three data, my website data, my OS data, and plus my HTTP software, everything is there in my slash drive. That's right there. And you know what, guys? If the OS terminated or corrupted or hard disk corrupted, entire 8 GB removed, your slash drive removed, is been corrupted. And entire data 1, 2, and 3 will be terminated and removed or corrupted. Okay, now same thing I'm repeating here. Before I go, and let me show you here. If you want to see the total hard disk we have, you can use this command. You guys know this command. One hard disk, 8 GB. And this one hard disk, we have one one person of 8 GB. And this one person, if you want to check with this command, you guys know this command. Okay, so this person has been mounted in the slash drive. So like this is my C drive or my slash drive. For entire OS, HTTP software, my Apache server, and my website is copied in this folder. And how I know they copy in this folder? Okay, pretty simple, right? Right now you are in this folder, right? Where your website is here. So if you know, guys, basics about any of the OS, maybe Linux or Windows, you know one small thing. You know one small thing. Okay, if you copy any data in this folder, okay, this page is copied in this folder. So this folder is keeping the space from this folder. This folder is getting the space from this folder, and this folder getting the space from slash folder. And what is slash? Slash is drive. Or from where they're getting the space from? From this drive of 8 GB. It means it means due to any reason, if you are if you are guys, 1 minute please. Let me plug my charger. So if you are getting a space from one drive or one storage called a root drive, okay, or root drive, there's the this one. If this corrupt, entire data in this list corrupt. If this corrupt, this folder corrupt. If this folder corrupt, this data is also corrupt. Okay, and you know what, guys? Again, same thing I'm repeating here. If the data number one corrupted, always if we get again install data number two corrupted, so HTTP software, we can again go and get the software. Okay, but if the data number three corrupted, okay, maybe it might be impossible to get this data again. Okay, right now in my case, I had just put one single page here, very simple page, nothing fancy. I can again create, but the thing, guys, hundreds and thousands of pages we have here in our website. Okay, normally after link all the pages, it become your complete web app or website. Okay, okay, and this website is being created by developers. They we hire the developer, they create the website, and we copy the website here. And by chance we don't have any backup. Okay, and due to some reason this folder corrupted or drive corrupted, your entire data will corrupted. How you get your data back, or how you get your code back? Okay, normally you guys say our code we normally put in the backup, or anybody who know Git or GitHub, we put our code in the Git or GitHub. Again, we can download maybe, but normally, you know what? One more thing we have, right? Right now, this site is static site. It means whatever the content we write here, it is being it goes to the client. Okay, but 99.9% guys nowadays, almost every site is a dynamic site. It means client not only see the content. Right now, if you see, this is my website, and who I am right now I'm a client. I can see the content. If I can see the content, that's called static site. Okay, but if I have a way, I can also write something, upload the image, write some content and post, then I can say that site is dynamic. For example, very simple example, Facebook. So this is, it's a dynamic site. Why? Because my content keep on changing. I can upload the photo, I can add something here, change something here, right? Lots of things we can do here. So most of the site, guys, nowadays or app is dynamic. It means if I upload this image or this content is, they're keeping somewhere. Okay, where they're keeping, technically we will discuss in upcoming classes. Technically they are keeping in some kind of SQL or no SQL databases. There's a different point, but let's think in this way. When you upload any content from here, by chance this is not dynamic site, but let's say if this site is dynamic and you upload the content, upload anything, so change anything in the website from the client side, right? This content again updated here, your images copied here, your video copy here, your post copy here, your content copy here. Okay, and you know from where the content come from. This content is come from the client. So guys, again, if I draw this diagram here. Okay, so in this screen, this is the client. So not this, sorry. This is the client. So the browser who belongs to this is my Windows browser, and I am the client, and I can see the content. And when I upload something here, because I don't have the option here, but I upload something here, this data I will upload and store somewhere in this folder. And what is this system? What is this system? This system is server. Let's say it's a Facebook server. And what if, guys, if Facebook server goes down or terminated? Okay, the entire hard disk terminated. No issue. We can buy one more hard disk. We can again install the OS. We can again install the HTTP software. But from where you get the data back again? From where you get the data that is uploaded by the client, the images, the videos. Before the Facebook or Google or any of the company, right? The most critical thing is the data of the customers, image and video of the customer. Facebook and I never say this to you. I'm so sorry, my hard disk got corrupted and I lost your data. Okay, in this case, guys, nobody will gonna use the Facebook again, right? So for this, they have a lot of things they do behind the scene. We will discuss in upcoming class. Only my intention here to tell you, okay, tell you, right? Whenever you set up any server, maybe in the cloud or anywhere, right? The most critical thing that we have to always focus on is on our code or plus on the data, code on the data, especially on the data, but let's say code also. Okay, and we never want our code or the data to be stored on the root device, because the chances is, if you upgrade the system, if you update the OS, if you do some patches, lots of things we keep on doing, and by chance if the OS goes down or corrupted, hard disk got corrupted, the root device corrupted. So I never want to keep my data on the root device. So what is the solution? Multiple solutions we have, but right now the most simple solution we have is pretty straightforward. What can we do? What can we do? Okay, we have this issue instance. Okay, and by chance we know, because we are the one who configure Apache web server here, and by chance we know about the Apache server, and we know in Apache web server we keep all of data here in this folder. We don't put any data right apart from this folder. Every bit, every data, every web pages, every content, every code, every data for the customer, let's say, we are keeping here in this folder, because we know this is a folder we are keeping our data. So for me, this is the most sensitive folder. So I'll say this folder, do one thing now from onward, don't take the space from this folder. Don't take the space from the folder. Don't take the space from slash folder. What I'm doing for you, I'm giving a separate storage to you. So I'll go to EBS. Okay, I'll go to EBS, and from the EBS, I'll pick one storage. Okay, and this storage I will provide to you. Okay, so what I want you link this storage to this folder. Or I want, you are the folder, you link yourself to this folder. And what I mean by link here, so I told you guys in my Partisan classes, link means mount. It means now onward, anybody who come to you, just go inside a folder. Anything we keep here, or my client upload here in this folder, technically for them, they're uploading the same folder. Okay, because web server only indexes in this folder. So according to the client or the user, or we as admin, we are actually using this folder. Okay, we are keeping every data in this folder only. But this folder is getting the space from EBS volume. I told you guys, whenever if you keep the EBS volume, a separate hard disk, like a separate pen drive, I showed in my last classes. Okay, it means due to now, due to any reason, if the OS got corrupted, hard disk got corrupted, or the root device or volume got corrupted, so entire OS corrupted, or my Apache software also been corrupted or been removed. Okay, but all the data that is reside in sit in this folder, it won't touch. They won't touch this data, because this data technically, internally, they are not storing in this folder. Internally, they are storing inside the different hard disk or different pen drive. Okay, so something like this kind of practice, guys, we have already seen this, but I just want to again touch this topic, because this topic we're going to help you to take the next topic called S3, then the cloud front. Okay, let me show you how we can do it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to very quickly create one EBS volume. Okay, so understand one thing that you know already, because my OS is running in 1B data center, so you have to launch your EBS volume in the same 1B, otherwise it won't connect. Create a volume. I'm giving a, let's say 1 GB might be enough for me, and I'm launching in 1B. Let me give the name. Let me give the name. It's called web server EBS. Okay, what is snapshot or encryption? There will be a very interesting topic I will discuss in my upcoming class. What is throughput and IOPS? When I go for some kind of performance class, I will discuss there that time what is IOPS and the throughputs, and that time I will explain you what is different volume types. Okay, so right now it's not important to discuss, but at least this part you know already. Okay, so let me create the volume. And after volume created, I'll just click on the volume. And after creating on the volume, let me refresh. Refresh. This volume come up, is available. Let me connect this volume. You guys know how to connect, attach, and I'm going to attach with my this running web server. That's all. So pretty straightforward, nothing special. Now what you will see here, If you go to OS, I'm logging in with my root account. Now you'll see one more new hard disk come to your system. It's called this one. And guys, I told you in my last classes also, plus the Parsons topic I shared with you, if you want to use any hard disk, first of all, you have to create a Parson. So I'm creating a Parson here. Let it be very quicker because I believe you guys know and you practice already this part because I explain you from very basics in my Parson classes this topic. Okay, so this new hard disk come up. So I'm going inside this hard disk, press N to create a new Parson. First Parson is P, primary, first Parson, enter and enter. So I created one one new Parson here. P means to see how many Parson we have, only one of around 1 GB size. And W means save. So technically you have created one partition here. Okay, guys, when you create any partition in any of the storage in the world, you have to always format it. And for format, there's multiple way to format, but I'm going to use this command or ext4 format type to format this partition. Okay. What is format? What is different? ext3, ext4, xfs. Again, in my Linux classes, I discussed that. It's not important, right? Now, important thing here is important thing here is this is a partition of around 1 GB in size, come from this hard disk, and this hard disk is coming from EBS. So this is not my root hard disk. I can say this is my persistent hard disk, permanent hard disk. Every data I put here, it will be permanent like a pen drive. Due to any reason my OS terminated or the root drive of the OS terminated, this hard disk goes, and all the data of this hard disk goes, but it won't touch this hard disk for this partition. So that's what I'm going to do here. So what I'm going to do, I'm in this folder. Let me go out first. Okay, and I'll tell my this folder, also my this partition, and say I want you link with this folder. So all the space that you have in this partition coming from this hard disk, I want you please link to this folder. Link means called mount. Okay, and now what happened? If you again run the df of an h command, what you will see. Okay, now from onwards, whatever you put in this folder, okay, it will come from this storage. Or I can say whatever put in this folder internally, they store in this folder in this storage. So if I again explain you very quickly one same thing here. So finally, if you notice here, okay, now we have a two different drive. One is slash drive, one is AWS drive. This is coming from very different hard disk here. DA, different hard disk, DF, different hard disk. Okay. Okay. And because they're coming from different hard disks, because this hard disk size is around 1 GB. Okay. So maximum data that you can put in this hard disk is 1 GB. That's okay. 1 GB might be okay for us. But we can increase also. How to increase, I will discuss in the future if we need. Okay, but interesting thing is anything I put here, and what I put here, because this is my document root of the web server. So I put all of my code, all of my data coming from the client on my dynamic website, maybe everything I will put over here. And put over here until they stored in this parcel or in this hard disk. So if my OS corrupt, my window, my Linux corrupt, this drive corrupted, this hard disk corrupted, but it won't touch this hard disk. That's what we want, guys, here. Okay, so it means whatever data you put in this drive or in this folder, it will be safe, right? It won't corrupt. That's what we are going to do here. But because right now this is a new hard disk we have created, because new hard disk, new person, this person hard disk is a new, nothing you will have there. So if you go to this folder called where WSTML, you will see nothing is there. Why they create lost and found? Maybe if you guys go to some of my some advanced topic of my Parson classes, there I explain you what is lost and found. Okay, and if you have a question, guys, where my last file goes, it's not removed. It's still there in your slash drive. So if you again unlink this folder, you get this file again back. But again, it's not important right now. But guys, this is the way we have to start. Now, after you do this, then ask your developer to keep your data. Okay, let me again create this file again one more time with the name called lens. This file. Let me create this file again. Well, guys, this is HTML page. Let me create some body. If you guys know HTML, so you can use all the HTML tag if you know HTML. Otherwise, you can do in the same way. And I say welcome to Linux world. So this is a pure HTML code. Okay, nothing special. If you don't know, you can put a simple text here. Now, anybody in the world who know my IP address, they can again use it. Okay, this page come up, right? Now, interesting thing is the same output, same practical, nothing fancy, nothing new. The only thing is, guys, by chance, if you, in this case, by chance, if you terminate your OS, terminate your OS manually, entire OS removed, your root hard disk removed, okay, plus your S3 software removed, but your data that you keep here, it will be there. Your code, your data coming from the client, right? Everything will be safe because technically they are not storing here. So if I refresh this page again, so in this hard disk, in this OS, we have one more hard disk. So you can see one more hard disk. So your data is storing in this hard disk, and this hard disk is coming from EBS volume. So we click here. This is the EBS volume of 1 GB. Okay, that's what I just want to show you. So guys, again, EBS we discussed already, how to mount, how to create a partition, everything we discussed there. But I just want to show you this is the way we have to design our things. Okay, you have to keep in mind, okay, where you have a data. Okay, which part is important for you. If you think there might be possibility, your OS might terminate it, or maybe other possibility also we have. That folder, right, where you keeping this data folder, don't keep in your root device. Get a EBS volume. This is one of the way. You have other way also, but for now I'm just attaching using the EBS volume. Okay, this is one thing. Now here we have some challenge, right? And for solving the challenge, guys, now we for solving that challenge, we have to use S3 also. Like I told you, EBS is also a permanent storage. S3 is also a permanent storage. The difference is EBS is a block storage or block device. S3 is object device, object storage. And some of the difference I already told to you. But right now, okay, what are data I put in my EBS volume? Which data? This data is actually storing in my EBS folder because this data is in this folder and this folder is coming from this partition and this partition is coming from EBS storage. Okay, but in this example we might have some challenges. And for solving that challenges, we have to go to go to EBS. We have to go to S3. So what is that challenge? Okay, so you know what I'm going to do here. Okay, let's say in your website, this is your website. Let's say in your website, you have to post, or you have to add one photograph. So anybody who know HTML, they know how to add the photograph. It's pretty straightforward. Open this page. In the HTML, we have a tag called img tag, image. In image, we can we can write here source where my photograph is and give the image name. Okay, maybe with the height, we can set the height of the image. Let's say 200 pixels. We can set the width of the image, again 200 pixels. And now if I save this page, if you refresh this, you will see one image come up. I don't have image right now, but if you add the image, that one image will come over here. So let me show this demo very quickly. Right, so wherever you have the image, you have to give the path location here. So what I'm going to do here right now, so I am going to copy my image here. Okay, and how to copy? Pretty straightforward. I think you guys might know, but let me do very quickly. So right now this OS is running on the at the Mumbai, and because this OS is right now Linux OS, and by chance in my laptop I'm running with Windows, and in my laptop I have one image. So if you want to have any image or video software or any file, because everything is a file, okay, if you want to upload any file or download any file from Windows to Linux or Linux to Windows, okay, so for this, or maybe Mac to Linux or Linux to Mac, all right, or Linux to Linux also. For this, we can use one kind of protocol. It's not exactly protocol, but you can think one kind of protocol called SCP. So SCP is one of the way you can use. Okay, so for this in the Windows, you need some kind of program. This is called client side program, And the program name that I'm going to use here called WinSAP. So WinSAP is a free program that you can use, that you can download from the net, right? So very quickly, if I show you those who don't know WinSAP, so WinSAP download for Windows. Okay, this is a site you can go and download. The free software. Other software also available, but it's very commonly used software. You can use this software and download. Okay, and download and double click here, download, double click, install it. So in my case, I already have this software. So what I'm going to do, I'm just launching this software with SAP. Okay. And those who don't have a Windows, if you want to transfer your files from Mac to Linux or Linux to Linux, so instead of WinSAP in your Mac or in your Linux system, you have a command called SAP. So SAP is a command also available in Linux and Mac. But right now I'm in my Windows, and my plan is to upload this file. So in my laptop, I have this image called vimal dot something. Okay, so my plan is to upload this image or this file, right? Any file you want to upload or folder you want to upload, you can use this program. So only thing is just click on new site, put your IP address. So IP address of my Linux system is this one. It's always a public IP you have to put here. Public IP. Okay, and your username is again same EC2-user. And guys, by chance, I don't have a password with me, because normally in the Linux, always in the cloud, normally we use a private key. So you don't know the password. So how to address the private key in the WinSAP? So you have to click on the advanced. And advanced, you can see option called SSH authentication. And here we can attach your private key. Same way, it is something like a putty, right? So you can use, you can attach your private key. Again, they also support PPK file that we use in putty also. Okay. So if I click OK, and then if I click OK, login. So technically, yes. Okay, my laptop is connected to the Linux system. Okay, so in the left side you have Windows, in the right side you have a Linux running on the cloud. Okay, and what I'm going to do here, I'll go to my desktop, because the file that I would like to upload is there in my desktop, and file name that I would like to upload is is vimal.jpg. So drag and drop. Start for. So here we have to just drag and drop, but technically internally from my laptop, from my city, my file uploaded, it go to Mumbai data center and the copy here in the Mumbai. Okay, but can you do the same thing with Putty? No, right? In Putty is used to just connect and get the command line to run the commands. So from the Putty, you can't upload and download the things, right? Why? If you want to know more, if you can go for some of my SSS classes in my Linux ISA Rise, you'll come to know why. So technically, if you want to uh, download any file or upload any file or transfer any file, same thing, then we have to use SCP kind of protocol, where you can use this kind of program. But if you want to connect to this Linux, so you can get the screen or command line, so you can run the commands, then you have to use SSS protocol, and there we can use a program at the client circle party. So depending upon the purpose to purpose, guys, what is your final purpose? Accordingly, you have to use that kind of protocol or that kind of program at your laptop. I means your client side. Okay, so it's uploaded. But if you notice one thing, it is uploaded in the folder called /home/EC2user. So in this folder we have uploaded. So if you go to the system again, okay, so here you can't find this. The file is uploaded in the folder called home EC2user. Over here, over here, the uploaded. Okay, but if you want to use this file in the Apache web server read only the content from this folder only. So you have to copy this file, this image or this video in this folder. Why in this folder? Because Apache server by default read the content, file, images, video from in this folder only. So I copy over here. Okay, so again, so I have my web content written by developer. I have the image, maybe my client uploaded, or maybe this might be my dynamic website, maybe. Okay, now if I refresh, you won't find nothing special here. because my code is not yet complete. So if I open my code, I have to tell my code that this is the file that you have to present to the client. Okay, this is the client. File name is maybe, I don't know, vimal.png or jpg, jpg, vimal.jpg. So wherever you file, copy the file image, you to give the path here, because right now my file is in the same location where I am in. So I have give the just file name. So the guys code I have treated, and let me refresh so you can see this image come up. Okay. Now notice one thing, guys. Anybody in the world who open this website with this URL, even though if you also try, you can see this image come up in your browser. Okay, let me very small change, nothing special. Let me do a small change. It's 200 and 150. Nothing special, but it's just to proper format. Yeah, this might look better. Okay. Now, till here, guys, everything good. Understand one thing. In this example, I copy my content, data, image, plus my code in this folder, and this folder is storing everything inside this person called EBS volume. So, due to any reason, if my OS terminated or my slash drive corrupted, all right, it won't. I won't lose my data. I won't lose my code. That was the most critical thing for me. That's nice. There's no challenge. So till now, everything look good. If you talk about the EBS perspective, everything look good. But you might face some challenge here. The challenge here is right. Uh, AWS. If you talk about the durability of the EBS volume, okay. If you go to AWS and say AWS, can you tell me about the EBS storage durability? Okay, what is the durability of the AWS? Okay, so they say, see guys here, not very clear, 99.8 or 99.9, not so much clear about the durability of this hard disk. And what is durability? You guys know. Okay, durability means due to any reason, if this hard disk corrupted, because technically AWS is giving the best possible hard disk in the terms of company and the terms of the material of the hard disk, best possible physical hard disk or device they given to you. But guys, physical device can corrupt anytime. And if they corrupt, you lose your data because of the, physically they might corrupt due to some reason, right? So that's called durability. So imagine say the durability of your EBS volume is this one. Okay, it's too high. It's nice in 98.99.8, but again still we have chances 0.2%. Okay, of losing the data, of losing the data. It means I mean say maybe in hundreds of year, if you keep your data, okay, most probably maybe there might be chances 2 hours of data or 1 day of data you might lose, something like this. You can think in this way. Okay, but understand one thing, guys. I already told you, right? For us, the important part is not the website. Oh, sorry, not the OS. Important part is not the software of the OS. The important part is data and the code. That is the reason, guys, we separate this data and code from the from the root volume. But again, if you further digest this part or dissect this part, okay. Now, now we have four components. Okay, one I can say my OS installation data. This come from AMI here. Is the first kind of data. Does this is important for us? As such, no. Second is the Apache Web Server software data, HTTPD software. Thus, this is important for us. It is not as all important for us. Okay, but yeah, both of the things require. If you don't have the OS, how you start the service. If you don't have services, it started how your client can connect to you. So without a server, nobody can connect to me or to my server. So yes, these are important, but it's not so much critical. Okay, but because these both are the program, OS is also one kind of program, this is also one kind of program. So you can think in this way: if you have any program that you want to run and copy and run install, okay, normally we would like to keep into the root disk. Normally it's good practice, or not normally, we have to, especially OS, we have to put in the root disk only or root device only. Okay, so I'm keeping this guys in the root device, my slash drive, I can say. Okay, but now if you talk about the code and if you talk about the data, okay, now again guys, data is a big world altogether. There's tons of things in the data. I can't I can't discuss right now. SQL and NoSQL. In NoSQL you have a graph data, you have a time series data, you have a document data, you have cache data, you have session data, your RDBMS data, transaction data, big data, Hadoop, right? Streaming data is a long, right? Is a huge, is ultimately, is a infinite kind of things, right? Tons of things. Even though in the data we have a different course, advanced course in data, right? If you go to AWS, they have a specialized course in data, is a specialized course, right? This is a so it is a very longer topic, very longer topic. So if you try to cut this concept in multiple part, it's a very long topic. But technically, whatever kind of data you have, for us it is very sensitive, and for us it is very critical. Code is sensitive maybe, but not not as such, because normally code is developed by developer, and developer normally keep the code as a backup. Normally they put in some kind of HCM system, like like GitHub or something like this. So what is HCM system, what is GitHub, and what how they work, right? So when I go for my developer track of AWS, and when we go for CI/CD pipeline, and those who don't know GitHub, because normally we have to integrate this topic there, I will explain you guys first that time there, right? So again, I'm not picking this topic right now. Okay, but code is again sensitive, but it's not so much important. If we lose the code created by developer, we have some backup, we can again download. So again, this part is not as such critical for us. If we will lose, we can get it, but this part is very important for us. If we lose the data, right, we might lose the business also, right? So critical. Okay, so now what I'm talking about here is okay, I'm talking about here is because we think code is not so much important, so we can keep the code again in the root device. Okay, or maybe due to some reason, right? What is the reason? Maybe right now might not able to properly explain you. Okay, but as we go forward, especially when I go for topic or migration or something like this, right, I will explain you. So typically, because in this OS we have configured Apache server or web server or mail server, some other server, right? For the web server, the most important thing is the code. If you don't have a code means the website or web pages or web app. If you don't have these pages, right, how they run it and how anybody can see this website. Okay, so now it is good practice for a while. You just think it is good practice to keep the code in the EBS volume. That's what we did here. But the big challenge in EBS volume is they are not so much durable. So that's okay. Maybe in hundreds of years, something might lose. Code, we normally do a backup. The code, we normally do a backup. So we will get from the backup and again get it download and again run it. Okay. But if you put our data, if we put our data in the EBS, okay, and data is the, as you can think, it is like a, data is not data, data is money, right? So it is like a, if some bank say you are storing your money in my bank, and then 99.8% chances you might lose your money. Money is available, but 0.2% chances you lose your money. Nobody guys feed or store or deposit the money in that bank. So nowadays data for the company is like a money or more than the money. Okay, so I can't go for this solution. I can go for this solution to keep on storing my data in the EBS volume because they are not durable. And plus, if you talk about the durability, if you talk about durability, Okay, this is the one thing, right? But if you talk about the availability, okay, if you talk about EBS availability, okay, availability, you know, they might write something here, but you know, they are not clear about the availability of the EBS volume. Okay, because uh, AWS say AWS say they are providing a EBS volume to us. Okay, and normally, guys, we always attach the EBS volume. I told you in my last class, right? EBS volume only work if and only if, okay, when you attach the EBS volume with your instances. Work means you can only able to retrieve the data from EBS volume only if you attach the EBS volume to EC2. You can think it's like a pen drive. You can't get the data at pen drive directly. You have to first attach in a laptop, something like this. Okay, but if by chance if it always goes down, data will be there, but it's not available for the user. It's not available for the customers. So like right now, guys, if I shut down my OS, you won't able to see this website. Even though I corrupt my OS, you won't able to see my website here. So it doesn't mean your data lose. Data is durable there, 99.9% or 9.8% percent durability of EBS volume. But the point over here is not available for you because the system who is helping me to provide my data and the data will reach to you as a client or customer, it via EC2. Okay, so the durability, sorry, the availability of this program is highly dependent upon the EC2, and EC2 is the OS run with the RAM and CPU and OS. Maybe they corrupt or there are a lot of things they might happen that we'll talk in upcoming classes, right? So technically, if you want looking for availability, so client can see your data and use your data and see their data, whatever they upload in your website. Let's say your bank, whatever data they uploaded, obviously their currency and money, they can see it available. Obviously, durability is always we want. Okay, so EBS volume, guys, is not great for availability and the durability. Okay, is not great for availability and durability of the data. So what can we do for this? We have lots of solution over here where we can keep our data. Depend upon data, guys, again is long topic. If you complete the journey of your complete AWS, then you come to know is just hundreds and thousands things we can do in the data world. Okay, but here in this training I'll keeping some of the concepts, and I'll show you some of the concepts in very detail because we are into the CSA training or the developer training over here. Okay, but let me start with one topic. So guys, is all depend upon the data. Right? If you think your data, okay, guys, obviously I got data means a file, because data is on the file, and file means maybe your images, your videos, your text data, your banking accounting database, or whatever it would be. Okay, if you think this data is a one kind of static data, and you don't want to lose this data. And when I say static data, means they are fixed. They are fixed. They don't change. Either you remove or read and see, delete. That's all, right? Some kind of this, right? Or some nature of this. One of the example is photograph. Photograph is fixed, guys. So if not phone, photograph, or your PDF files, or your video files, or some kind of text files, or something like this. So you think, this is the this file I'm talking about. So this is the file or data, okay, image, right? But it's static. Okay, so if you think your data is static in nature, right, and you are concerned about data, because let's say you are Facebook or Instagram, and for the Instagram, what is the most amount data? Obviously photograph, right, or the videos. Okay, if you Facebook say my by chance where I'm keeping my photograph videos of my customer, I lose that hard disk, so your data is not durable. Or they say no, by chance my hard disk is down because my OS is not running. So again, what again is what is data is not available. So nobody gonna use those kind of apps and websites, right, or web apps, Okay, so if you are serving to the customer, I'm providing a customer static data. Okay, guys, again, I told you there's lots of data, caches data or database data or other kind of data, time series data or logs or lots of other things also. We will discuss in upcoming class, don't worry. But I just want to focus only one part here. Okay, so if you think you have a data is called static, like this kind of in nature. Okay, then can you put this data in EBS value? Answer yes, I already did. See here, I already did. We can done it. But everybody, I can say everybody is not count. We can't measure the everybody because it's purely depend on this issue instance goes down. This data is unavailable. Okay, and talk about durability is one single hard disk, and I show you 99.8% or maybe less, maybe sometime they are durable. Okay, but this the image or this videos and this static data is very critical for me. So what can we do? And for this, Amazon has provided one interesting services, and that's called object services or object storage, and that you guys know already. Okay, it's called S3, and that is the reason, guys, they use the term called object. They say whenever you have any object to store permanent, object means this static. The object is object, right? Object is always unique, right? Every photograph of mine or your is always unique, and video is unique. So if you want to store any object, or I can say static data or static files, just come to my storage called object storage. And the guys, you guys know about the durability and the ability of S3, right? Right. So very quickly, if I show you S3 durability, is is 9 11 nines is great, right? Nobody in the world can give you 100% guarantee because maybe yeah, you guys might have seen the movie 2012, right? So if this thing happened in the world, right, 2012 movie, so nobody can give the guarantee, but they say we have a lot of replicas, backups in here and there. So impossible, it's like impossible. Right, this kind of durability they're providing you, or availability, I told you already. Again, is again they have 5 nines, I believe, or 4 nines, so again is great. Okay, so so technically let's say we have especially meant for the object storage or for the static content. Okay, for the static content, somehow we can do some kind of dynamic content also, we will discuss in the upcoming classes, but I just want to focus again in one part. So if you have any static content, keep here. Okay, because my durability and everybody is great, plus they give you lots of other facilities also. And one of the facility that I will see today, there's a main topic for today, is called CloudFront. So I have a tightly integration with the CloudFront. What a CloudFront, in a 5 minute, we are going to start this topic. Okay, but first of all, I don't want my image to be copied here in this folder. Let me remove it. I don't want my file to be copied here. You can copy it, thing work good, but the thing is, it's not about it's not only about that my website is running and anybody and everybody can see my website. So it is not important. Important is how much, what kind of design you have created. So guys, now I'm not keeping my image. Website is same, code is changed. I don't want to change anything in my look and feel of my code or my application. Only thing is the content of this image or the video, right? I am not putting technically directly here. Okay, I am putting in my in my S3 storage. And how, you guys know very quickly. Let me do this practical one more time. And I'm doing, guys, all the practicals by the GUI, but I suggest just try to do the same practical, exactly same practical first with the GUI, then we'll move to the command line. So what I'm going to do here very quickly, I'm going to create one folder. It's called web server Linux server world, something like this. And I'm, guys, keeping this data in the Mumbai. Okay, and let's do one thing. Let's go for Mumbai. That's okay. So I'm keeping this data in the Mumbai. Where is my page? Mumbai. And you guys know by default when you create this, they don't have public readability. So let me change the permission. You guys know, edit and change. So this part, guys, we already discussed. So I don't want to discuss again. Confirm. So in this folder, technique known as bucket, in this bucket, let me upload my file, same file. And right now, guys, my file is uploaded, uploading into the S3 storage. I can upload, and I want everybody can see this or you see this image, so I can make it public. Okay, and now this is the URL, and if I provide this URL to anybody, they can see this image. Okay, this URL is very big, right? I might have hundreds and thousands photographs in my Insta account or Facebook account, or thousands of videos maybe, right? So normally, guys, I don't want to provide these kind of big URLs to my customers and the client. What we do normally, we ask our developers and say, developers, you have to write the code, create one simple website like this, and anybody who come to this website of any this app, provide this image. So what developer go and write this kind of code. In the code, what they do, nothing special, sorry, they just write the location where you keep this image and the video. So technically, the guy who has uploaded these images into S3, okay, this URL we provide to our developers, and developer keep this URL over here. If you see, guys, in the code wise, there's nothing changed. Only I changed is the URL where my image is copied. Okay, but for the final customer perspective, if you see here, okay, if you're my final customer, if you try to refresh the page, what you will see? Same thing. Okay, you guys, interesting. The interesting thing is, now if you notice about this page is, the interesting thing about this page is, right now, right now, okay, this you have connected to this IP. This IP is EC2 instance. You're connected to web server running in EC2 instance in the root device. But the code of this page and content of this page coming from EBS volume. But some part of the data of this page, one of the image, is come from S3. But as a client perspective, you can see one single website, but your content is coming from 3 different services or 3 different locations. 2 storage we are using, and 1 root device, means EC2 instance we are using. Okay, so now if you very highly compare, if you talk about Facebook, so you can see one single website. But guys, believe me, I've seen this kind of website and code, other websites also in very detail, right? Believe me, almost every bit of this website are coming from different locations. What you search in the top, what you see in the inbox, what you see as a post here, what you see the number of likes and number of friends you have. Okay, everything is coming, maybe your chat messages or chatting, everything is coming from different data storage. Something with SQL, something no SQL, again hundreds of different kind of no SQLs, different RDBMS databases, some kind of data storage, some kind of data warehouse, lots of guys places, or maybe code for coming from other places, maybe multiple codes coming from different servers. But for the customer and for the client, it's a single website. Okay, but they are coming from different locations. Okay, and just to explain this part, we will go more in deep dive in upcoming classes, but this is the something like this in the simple smaller form. Okay, so single website but coming from different locations. Okay, so that's what, guys, here is one of the example where you can use S3. Okay, so I just put all my objects, image, videos, PDF in the S3. The good thing is, due to any reason, if entire OS goes fail down, even though my this hard disk also fail because of less availability or durability, okay, but your most critical thing is your data, image, videos, PDF is won't remove, because technically we are using here, but they are actually storing into the S3 storage. And you guys know the availability and the durability of the S3. But S3 provide you lots of other things also. In the terms of performance speed, they have great options there. Okay, because sometime if you see this website, they are a little bit slow by loading this image. Right now, they put in the caches this image in my browser, but you see slowly they are opening. But if you in S3 we have different options. If you want to increase the speed of providing this content, they have other options also. So when I go for some more options of the S3 in detail, you guys come to know what I'm talking about. Okay, so S3 is not only for durability and availability, or lots of other options they also provide you. They also provide security also, like encryption, right? Encryption. So we will discuss those things in my next classes. But right now, my today's topic is not this one. But this is the way I just want to show you that in AWS they have given you multiple different services, how you guys can plug together and finally design your application. So this is one of the simple example of or architecting or designing your final application. But we will go more deep dive in my upcoming class, and we keep on adding multiple thing on the top of this application, and we will also add some more dynamic part also in this application. Finally, it become your full-fledged website, have multiple features, but everything is coming from something coming for DynamoDB, something coming for Redis, something coming from from other services, and finally lots of things will be created on the top of this. Okay, so this is one thing. But today's topic is different. Main topic, I can say, main topic for today is CloudFront. Okay, so let me guys explain you. Now in this application, everything is good, no doubt. Okay, my designing is I can say is good. All right, no doubt. Most important data for me is this image is actually storing in the S3, so there's no challenge. Everything is good. But again, we have a small challenge here. Okay, and what is the challenges? Okay, right now, guys, this website is running publicly. This is a public IP, and most of guys may be here listening to me right now. They might be in multiple cities and multiple countries. Okay, so you know what happened, guys, right now. If you try to if you try to if you try to 1 minute right here, if you talk about, guys, anybody let's start in this way. If you talk about this image or this data, I can say technically this data is stored in S3, but in S3 where I store this data, I store this data in the Mumbai region. By uploading it, I selected I would like to upload in the Mumbai region. So right now my this image or this data is actually residing in S3 services into the data center of the Mumbai, in one of the region or maybe all the regions of the Mumbai, they are residing there. That's okay, right? But the challenge is, okay, the challenge is maybe some of my customer, let's say I'm a MNC or I'm a company, I'm global company, and I have some e-commerce side, and I have multiple customer from multiple cities and the countries. So maybe there might be possibility somebody from the US region is one of my customer. Okay, and this customer want to access this site. Can they open? And say yes, because this is public IP, and we allow all in my security group. So anybody publicly can access the site. They can see this page. Okay, they can see this page. Okay, but now point over here is, right, if they want to see this page, so what they have to do? Okay, what they have to do? So technically, if you open any map any map over here. Okay, so if I go here and say global map. Okay, so you open any world map. So what happened actually? If I pick this map over here, let me open this. Okay, so it's not clear, but you'll understand what I'm talking about. Okay, so if you open this map here, right, and let's say right now, if you talk about physically, right, where your image located. So right now my image is located over here in India, and this is the city Mumbai. Okay, physically my image or object located here. And anybody from the US, maybe let's say from here, somewhere here, from some city in Virginia or New York, something. Okay, so somebody from here, they want to access my site. Can they access? Answer yes, publicly, because we are connected to network, internet, so they can access. But they want to access. You know what happened, right? These guys have to write this URL in the browser, this URL in the browser, this one, and technically this request from the internet or from the network connections, right? Packet from the internet travel from US to multiple, maybe some under the ocean, they have fiber optic cables or fiber cables, right? They go to other cities in multiple countries, they come and reach to India. Again, they hit my server and say, I'm looking for this website, and they say this website is a website, but in the website you have the image, you have to also see the image, and image is there in the Mumbai data center, so just pick the image from there, and again the packet will go travel from the multiple cities and the countries and some tunnels and oceans, and they reach here. Okay, so you know what, guys, even though we have connected with the internet, but in the internet, guys, maybe you're connected with satellite or fiber optic cables or other type of network connections, right? However you connect, guys, right, your data have to travel where in the packet. It's called network packet. And obviously, guys, data is what is a signal, right? And is electric signal or maybe some kind of other signals, right? So if you are sending your data from a long distance, it's like thousand miles, right? Sending long distance, it will take a lot of time, right? And more time it will take to the reach to the customer. So it's not a good user experience for the customer. So it is something look like, right now, guys, you can see this site open very quickly. Okay, because one of the reason might be one of the reason might be I'm accessing this site from one somewhere from the India only, and I'm very much nearby Mumbai, where my image located. So in in my case, the site open very quickly. Okay, but by chance in this site we don't have so much things. I have one single image, but there's a lot of website, guys. We have lots of image, lot of content, a lot of data, right? If all the image and all the content, just if some client open in one click, okay. And you know what? If client is seeing this kind of thing, they're seeing this. They're still waiting. They're still waiting. Image slowly opening. 2 or 3 images open. They're still waiting for other images to be open, right? For the customer, it is not a great user experience. They don't like these sites nowadays, guys. Nobody has a time. Everybody has a time, but they think we don't have a time. But nowadays nobody has a time. Okay, okay, so we are not so much we don't have any patience, even I can say. Okay, if they come to some site within a second, or I can say within a millisecond, if the site doesn't open, okay, they won't wait, they will open the new tab and open the new site. Or maybe you are the e-commerce site. If your site is not open very quickly, for example, if I go to amazon.com, okay, click here, just one hit, see, guys, so fastly they open, right? All the images they open, right? See here, lots of images they open. These are what images, right? And good thing, guys, these images actually look kind of like coming from Amazon web server, but technically almost all the images are coming from S3. Okay, and even though on the top of S3 they add one more thing. What is that one? That one give you this kind of great speed. Just one click, and everything open. It's so quick. All the images open, right? How? I will discuss in a minute. Okay, but lots of images we have. But if you see images opening slowly, nobody will wait, right? I just go and open new tab and go to other side, Flipkart and something like this, and purchase from there. Okay, so technically, technically, what I'm talking about, if you are a website running in the Mumbai, or your content or data images in the Mumbai, and some of your customer from US or Europe or Africa, Australia, they hit your site, they packet image or data has to travel. And if you have more distance, data have to travel more. Can you help in this? No, we can't, right? Obviously, they have to travel more because the distance is long, right? It's a long distance. Okay, and if you have long distance, it will have come with a lot of delay. And delay, guys, is also known as latency. And none of the customer like latency. So, guys, the goal over here is, right, we have to improve the latency. Improve means we have to minimize the latency. It's called low. Low latency we have, low delay we have, less delay we have, right? Customer will be happy. They can see, they say my website of the this website open very quickly we are happy. So if you want to do something, we can do very quickly. Okay. So goal over here is what S3 is doing for you. They're great in that part. S3 say your data object durability and availability. I will take care. I will make your data permanent, persistent for you in my storage. My role is done. But if your customer is long distance, in the long distance, right, that I can't handle because my duty, I'm just a storage. I can't handle those part. This is not my service or my responsibility. So it's a customer in the long distance, right? Or how you can improve or decrease the latency and the delay that you have to think. Okay. So for this guys, there's a lot of companies in the market who is giving these services. But let me first explain you the concept, right? Okay, what exactly, how we can solve this challenge. Okay, so how can we solve this challenge? So normally, what can we do? One idea we can do here. Okay, one idea we can do here. Idea would be we can right now in the Mumbai, I am running with one EC2 instances. Okay, and I put my data in S3 in the Mumbai. And I know my customer is from New York, so I can launch one more server there in Texas or somewhere in some of the state over there. Let's say I launch one more ES2 instance there and S3, the same data and copy. Can we do? Yes, why not? We can do it. And guys, that is a great reason, a great benefit we get from public cloud like AWS. Okay, they have multiple regions. So if you think your customer is from the US, you can launch their nearby I can say proximity nearby location you can launch. Can you do this? Yes. So if this customer access your site, they will they will access the server. Yes. How? We will discuss in this in upcoming classes when I go for DNS. So automatically our DNS is the one who gonna help us to tell the nearby customer who is their nearby servers. So we will guys discuss this part in detail in the future classes. But point over here is guys, if you do so, okay, it will double your cost. So if you talk about the cost perspective, right? Same server, same data, you have to again run here, copy here. So as AWS perspective, they will charge you double. Or maybe your customer, maybe from Russia or Moscow, it will launch over here also. Maybe some customer from Sydney or Australia, they'll launch here also. Okay, so because you're a global company and customer will be from anywhere, right? Right, we can't per customer basis or per country basis, we keep on launching our server and keep on putting the data there. Okay, so it is again come with a exponential cost, right? If you talk about a costing perspective, and we have to again save the cost, right? Okay, we have to manage everything. So what can we do? So we have one facility. Rather than we just go and launch the servers or the S3 storage and copy my data to their proximity or to their nearby data centers or AGs. In some of the example we might have to do. What is those example scenarios? We will discuss in upcoming classes. But in this scenario, okay, in this scenario, there's no sense to do this. Okay, so what can we do? Okay, we can do one thing. We can do one thing. Okay, let's only run to, because we want to save the cost, right? Let's only run one EC2 instance in Mumbai and keep my data in the one location, because you keep the data one location, they will charge for one in Mumbai. So everything guys we are keeping in the Mumbai. Okay, now what can we do? We'll ask Amazon, can Amazon help in some way? What I mean by this, right? For example, let's say this is S3, and we have keep not one single file. We have thousands and millions of image and video, right? Let's say one of the file is vimal.jpg, one of the file, find one, file two, file three, file four, a lot of file we have created in S3. Now, point is, guys, maybe thousands of images we have, or products catalogs we have. Okay, I don't know which product catalog they are interested on, or which image my customer interested on. Maybe there might be possibility the US clients, they have thousands of customers over there, and almost all the 1,000 customers are interested on only 100 images. Let's say you have thousands of images with you and millions of images with you. Okay, but maybe there might be only there might be only hundreds and thousands of images they are interested on, but we don't know. So there's not again good reason, guys, to copy all the images from S3 to again their S3 to double the charge or double the cost. And again, this S3, guys, or your site maybe dynamic. So client is keep on uploading the image and the videos. And finally, let's say you are Facebook and Facebook is keep on saving the data in Mumbai, or some of the your friends come to your URL of your profile page from the US. How many? Maybe maybe millions of customers for India, but only thousands of customers of the Facebook have a friends on the clients in US. We don't know. So why we double the cost there, right? Okay. So what can we do? We will tell our Amazon, let's do some magical thing here. Okay. And the magical thing is, right, let's say this is the image we have, or this object we have. Okay. Can you do one thing? Okay, can you do one thing? If some customer, let's say customer number one from the US, are looking for this image, okay, do one thing first time, only for first time, for the first customer. Okay, this customer will again travel to the ocean and network. They hit to S3. This content will be delivered to this client. First time they have to travel. First time they will see some kind of latency delay. But before we deliver this content, this content to the customer, can you imagine do one thing? I can say Amazon because I'm using you. Amazon, can you do one thing? Okay, let's say this customer maybe in some some state or some city there. I want Amazon, you automatic find the nearby data center because you have lots of data center in US. Okay, I want you automatic find the nearby data center of that customer, whichever the city they belongs to or state they belongs to, and first copy this content or copy this image there. After copy, deliver it. Why? Now next time, because guys, whenever the client come to the website, they keep on refreshing the page, they keep on going up and go forward and next back, go back and next. Right? But every time they refresh, every time this customer again keep on refreshing, every time they go to Mumbai, then again every time they see the slowness. But we know this customer come, these are the images they are looking for. That means my profile page or my e-commerce site have to show, right? So I will copy this image here in the nearby local data center, and then I present the client. Next time this client refresh, now this time uh, this time this client don't have to go to Mumbai again. Okay, automatic they go first to their nearby data center, and they first look there that this image is located there or not. And if this image is located there, in this case, they won't go to Mumbai again to locate the same data or get the same data. Okay, my local data center, which is nearby data center, will serve this client. So for the next time, when this client request, when this client request, okay, it will be super faster. Super means super faster. Okay, again, think in this way, we are not looking for the one client, guys. Obviously, none of the company investing a lot of amount for the one client. Okay, because this client maybe have thousands and thousands of clients there, maybe millions of clients there in the US, or maybe in India we have hundreds of clients. Okay, 100 millions of clients. Okay, so because if first time client access, this is the website they open, and normally in the website we have 100 images, is very common that they always open. So you know what happened, guys, when the second client of the same region, right, maybe these guys belong to some city here, and one more client, two more, third client, fourth client, fifth client, so same city or from the same nearby location, guys, if they again hit, now what happened, now they don't have to again travel to Mumbai. Whenever they hit to a website, first your website always go and look in the nearest data center, and they find the image, and they will find, because one of the client first time they 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 get from the Mumbai, And now we have local copy, and by chance this local copy is known as cache. So we have created a local cache here of this image, of this object, of the object. Now other client will come up from the same city or the nearby location or nearby state. They will access the same data from the local cache. They don't have to go to Mumbai again. So if I ask Amazon, can you provide this service? And challenge is not about the US. In US we have multiple state, we have we have multiple different continent. We have Russia, Australia, Singapore, Tokyo, Africa. I don't know where the custom come up. So can you provide this facility globally? Do you have any global service for this? So if a customer coming from Moscow, again first time they will head to Mumbai, because actual my data is stored in the Mumbai. First time they will go and get the copy, locally store it. It's called create a local cache, and then they serve. Next time, same client, other client from the same location or nearby location come up. They don't have to travel to this long distance. So how it help you? One of the thing, guys, one of the way it will help you is to low the latency. We have thousands of customers. We have the thousands of customers. None of the guys have to again come to Mumbai. And they will get the copy of that object, of video, images, and other PDFs, other things. I'm mainly, guys, I'm talking about the static object. Whatever dynamic we will we'll discuss in upcoming classes. So anything, this image obviously is static. Okay, so any static object come up. Okay, this will highly improve the latency. So do you have any global setup for this, or do you have any global network for this, where I can deliver my content to your local data centers and you keep it there? Okay, you keep it there. So I may say, yes, we have. So I am providing one service to you. Okay, and name of the service is, or I can say the concept of the service is called content delivery network. Okay, CDN is a concept. Okay, means a lot of companies in the market who have a great network across the globe. They have lots and lots of data center. I can say very smaller data center in multiple cities, in multiple state, in multiple countries across the world, right? Lots of small data center they have, and they created this data center for one purpose, and the main purpose is content delivery network. They say in your company you put your data in a main, like in S3 in one location, but your customer is is globally located across the world. Okay, to provide them the good user experiences and decrease the or low the latency. Okay, you can use my smaller data center across the world. First time they will come via me. Always they have to come via me. Okay, so anybody right, from Russia, they want to access anything about website, they always come via me. And because they always come via me from my local or small data center, nearby data center of that client. Okay, and so we will first go and check we have any local caches of that image or object. If yes, we will serve it. Otherwise, we'll first time we'll go get the copy and provide to them. So next time this client or other client in the same location, they don't have to worry about. So do you have any delivery network for the content by by making the caches? Okay, so Amazon say yes, we have. Okay, so Amazon as a public cloud, so they have one product that will provide you CDN. So see, guys, CDN is just a concept, but Amazon they have a service called who provide you content delivery network as a service, and there's a product name is called CloudFront. CF CloudFront. CF is not the right full form, because CF normally we use a term with cloud formation. It's a different service, but I can say CloudFront. CloudFront. So CloudFront is a one service from Amazon who provide you content delivery network as a service. And AWS is not the only one. We have an individual company, guys, for this. AWS are very new in this service. Actually, I can say recently, some year ago, I think at 2008 or something, they have launched this service. But there's a lot of big companies in the market who are dedicatedly have this CDN service, because content delivery network is such a strong service, guys. Almost everybody, big company in the world, who are global company in the world, they need it because they would like to provide a customer a great user experience. So there's one company who are pioneer in in this CDN is called Akamai.com. So they are pioneer in this CDN. They are I can it has been written that around 15 to 30% traffic of internet go via Akamai data centers. Every big company, if you see, guys, every big company are the clients of these guys. They have a huge network setup. So Adobe, Airbnb, EMC, Fiat, and IBM and Honda, all are the customer of Akamai. Okay, so this company main core product is a CDN. Okay, and it has been written somewhere multiple article, around 15 to 20 or 30% traffic of across globe, okay, will go via the CDN network of Akamai. Okay, but yeah, this is a different product. This is a different company. Just wanted to notice, just want to tell you, it exists. Like this, we have Cloudflare and other companies also in the market who are purely into the most purely into the content delivery, content delivery networks parts. The other things they also do, but main thing is content delivery. Okay, but right now we are into AWS cloud. So AWS cloud also have a service called CloudFront. And now, because we have other company, why we have to use CloudFront? Maybe my practical will explain you in a minute why why we have to use CloudFront rather than other companies. Okay, but I believe, guys, you had the high level idea what is CloudFront. So if I go to the portal of AWS, portal AWS, even though, let me give one more vocabulary here, right? Those smaller data center that AWS launch across the world in multiple city and the countries, right? Those smaller data center in AWS is known as edge location. Okay, so guys, if you go to if you go to AWS global infrastructure, okay, right, this is the this is the page I show you in the first day, right? You know what is regions, you know what is you know what is region and the AGs, right? So these are AGs in the region. There's a different thing, guys. This is the main data center of AWS where they keep all the services. But Amazon has the separate separate smaller data center where they use those data center for the edge. Okay, so maybe in this link over here, they show you whatever you see in the blue color are the edges. You know, what you see in the blue color are the edge locations. Okay, by chance, in the North America, they have only 5 or 6 or 7 regions. But if you see the edge locations, they have a lot of edge locations. This is blue in the south. If you go to Asia Pacific, right? So if you see in India also, they have multiple edge locations. I think in the Delhi also we have, Mumbai we have, Hyderabad I think we have. So multiple edge locations we have. Right? See here, this is a list. So in the Asia Pacific, okay, so we have edge location in Bangalore, we have in Chennai, we have in Mumbai, we have in New Delhi. four, 4 or 5 smaller data center we have. Okay, plus we have some regional cache also. So you can think as regional edge caches is also like a edge location. Okay, but they are, you can think is they are bigger inside. So whenever you see, guys, this term edge location or regional edge caches, they are somewhat same, but they have some more extra size or bigger inside, you can think. So in India we have Mumbai, and you want to see more about this edge locations. Okay, so guys, this is the complete thing. So if you see here, because CloudFront is a service name, and CloudFront is only possible if they have a global network of the smaller data center, and that is known as edge. And technically, right now in in the Amazon, they have 217 total edge. Technically, they are known as POP, pop, point of presence. So total 217 right now. A pop they have, or a smaller data center they have. Out of this, 205 is edge location and 12 is regional cases. In this much countries and this much cities. Okay, but edge location and edge cases they have this, and high level they are same rule, but they are a little bit bigger in size in the terms of capacity. Okay, but if you see, this is a global map. Now, if you see here in this global map, okay, so this is the current current setup of the AWS cloud. Okay, now it's the guys they invested a lot, right? For one service for CDN, they have highly invested for us. Okay, so it means now from this diagram, if you see, if you host your website in Mumbai here, where is India here, right? Is EC2, and you put all the object images here in S3, Mumbai. So everything is stored here in Mumbai. If any customer from from, let's say, from Australia or from somewhere else, okay, let's say from US, let me write here, any customer from here, they want to access this site. So now, guys, you know what the process will follow. This customer always go first automatic to the nearest local data center known as edge location. And how they come to know nearest location, client have to know, has not worry about which is the nearest data center. Sorry, client don't have to worry about, right? Automatic Amazon has one trick. One, sorry guys, hold for a second please, guys. So Amazon has one automatic intelligence behind the scene, right? Automatic, they come to know, okay, which one is the nearest edge location or the data center of Amazon. And this intelligence guys will come from a service called DNS. So when I go for one topic or Route 53 DNS, I'll come to I'll explain you how and which intelligence they use behind the scene. But the automatic come to know which is the nearest data center of that client of the city, right? And they come to this data center and say, do you have the image here, vimal.jpg? Let's say this is the first time we are hitting this is the first time this client or any of the client of this nearby center hitting this data center or the edge location. So this data center say no, we don't have this image. So technically, you know guys, how they work behind the scene. Guys, can you hold for one more second please? So technically, you know what they do. Amazon has their own personal or private network connections. Okay, they have their own personal fiber optic cables. They put across the world. They have their own high, very high speed network connections between their data center. So from here, they have some wires or optic cables on the oceans, and they directly connect it to their data center. They don't rely on the internet, guys. I will explain this concept in more detail when I go for a topic called global accelerator. I will explain you what I'm talking about here. But if I want to show you one diagram here, I think I have one diagram here. This one. Okay, this is the global infrastructure of AWS. So AWS has a lot of metro fiber network under the oceans. These are the oceans, you know, they use. And you see this diagram. So all the data center AGs or edge locations, guys, they have connected. You see the blue lines here. So this is the Amazon own fiber optic cables, right? And on the land, on the top of the cities and countries and oceans, they are the super fast high speed network connection. Because now there's two, like, technically there's two different kind of internet connections we have. One is public, that is called internet, and one is private. Internet guys is always slow, not reliable, but they have their own private one, super fast connectivity they have. Look, I will explain you guys. I will talk about this topic in more in depth in my upcoming classes when I go for some advanced topics. Okay, but technically, what I'm trying to tell you here is, right. So anybody who have nearby client, okay, they never come to Mumbai directly. They go and nearby access their nearby edge location. And this lets them say, no, I don't have any image like this. So Amazon use their own high speed fiber optic cables and reach to the Mumbai with a full speed. Get this image from S3 and get it back and stored locally here and served to the client. Okay, and for the client, for the client, they think they are getting this get data from the local. So therefore super fast for them. And from between the Amazon data center, they don't use internet connections. They're very slow and non-reliable, but they're using their full speed network. So getting this data first time maybe take some time, but there's so much delay, so much less latency they will consume to get this data from the S3. Okay, so technically, for overall, if you talk about in the first time also, right, first time when the client connect, okay, because first time we don't have the data. So again, this connectivity is super fast. It won't take a lot of time to take it from there and serve to this client. Yeah, next time, because we now they create a local cache here, local copy here. I can say call local copy here, technical cache. Next time, this client or other client nearby, they will go here. They don't have to go there again. They will get from the local local data center. Or I can say this data center sometimes also known as a distribution. So from now onwards, they will get the data from the local distribution. And how many this kind of data center they have an edge location. So I told you guys this is the diagram of their edge locations. So all the blue color are their edge location. Or they keep on increasing, they keep on announcing a lot. So I told you in Asia, these are the data center, some in Mumbai and India, other cities also. Okay, so even though guys, if you go to amazon.com site, right, you guys see so quickly image open, right? But right now, you know what the beautiful thing is, all the images that you see here, almost all the images, content, videos of these images, okay, they are actually maybe they store in maybe they store in US, for example. Right now I'm in the city of Jaipur, in India. Okay, but this image might be, let's say, might be stored in other country, might be, but in my case so fast. Why? Because internally, internally they auto find my nearest edge location. Maybe New Delhi would be my nearest edge location. So they go there and say, do you have this image of coconut oil? They say, I don't have. So the Amazon New Delhi data center called edge location, go to that city and country of the Amazon own private network that is super fast, get this data, create a copy there and serve to. And next time if I refresh, because now in the Delhi location they have this image already copied, they don't have to go to that city or country again. They will serving me from there. Something like this. Okay, so there are a lot of benefit guys for this, but I think this is one of the great benefit you will achieve to provide a user a great user experience in the terms of speed and the low latency. Okay, in this thing, in this guys example, okay, if your file, real file I'm talking about, is located in the Mumbai, right now where it's located, maybe they're located in S3. So I can say S3 is the actual location where my actual file or real file is stored. So in this world, we use a one term called origin. So S3 would be origin for me, where we actually contain actual storage. But from file S3, after we get the copy and store in the local storage, or I can say local or nearby data center called edge location. Okay, and this part guys is known as distribution. Okay, technically this data center is known as edge location. No, in AWS we use the term AG or region. Similarly, we have edge location. But in AWS, edge location is like a small data center. We can use this guy for other purpose also. But if you use the edge location data center for the for creating local caches, in this case, in this context, we use a term called, we are using edge location for distributing our data. Is it, they are the my distributions. And to achieving this thing, we have to use a service called CloudFront. Okay, so so guys, these are the some terminology we have to use. Who is your origin? Okay, and other things also, right? So guys, how can we set up this? Is pretty straightforward. Nothing very much fancy here. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'll go to my AWS cloud portal again. Okay, and I'm moving to one service. But before the guys, your actual data is stored in the Mumbai in this bucket. This is my bucket name. So I can say this bucket in Mumbai is my origin. Why we should know this? Because we have to tell to the cloud front where to go and pick the real image so that we can create a copy. Okay, so we have to tell S3 is my origin. Okay, so I believe, guys, if I start doing this practical, because a lot of thing gonna happen here, I have to I have to talk about other concepts also here, right? Miss and hate and graphs and lots of things we have to discuss here. Okay, so do one thing. Let's do this demo tomorrow. Our network is ready. Our setup is ready. What I'm going to show you finally, you will see the same website. Okay, but right now, if anybody accessing the website, maybe from Australia, maybe from Japan, maybe from US, they might seeing some kind of delay on opening this site or opening this image. But tomorrow, after I add CloudFront on the top of S3, same website, same URL, guys. If you guys open from any of the countries, right, you won't see any delay. It's so quickly open, right? Even though faster than current scenario. Even though maybe I'm nearby located Mumbai, but I will see more speed when I access this site tomorrow after attaching the cloud from. How is possible? Again, we'll discuss. So and then we move to practical. So I believe tomorrow half time will consume on cloud formation, and half time we will maybe talk about snapshots, or maybe I will go some more advanced topic called global accelerator and something like this. Okay. So I have set the guys context here proper what we are going to do. Same website, but we have to improve the user experience and the speed. So that's all for today. Any questions if you have, guys, you can ask me in the Q&A. Yes, there's just definitely we will do some kind of meetup in 2021. What is the free limit of ABS? Hers, I think we have a 30 GB free limit of the EBS we have. Okay. Can we set up CI/CD in the Flutter? RAM, yes, we can do CI/CD also in the Flutter. Because in the Flutter, you are using some kind of build tool that's called Gradle, and you can integrate Gradle with Jenkins to automate your build. Yes, Kathy, we are going to discuss cloud formation. I think if we have a cloud formation in my developer program, I think we have cloud formation in the developer track. So if we have, we will definitely discuss cloud formation also. Guys, if you transfer some data here and there in AWS cloud, they also charge for the transferring the data. Okay, but again, in the free tier, something is free. But if you transfer a lot of data here and there, after certain limit, they will start charging for uploading and downloading. Yes, Himanshu, I don't think so. Any issue I've seen sharing the VPC ID group ID publicly is safe, right? Where nobody can do anything because this is for your account. Okay, so if anybody know your VPC ID or security group ID, nobody can do anything. Okay, partition properly cleared nahi hua. So I told you, Ayan, guys, if anybody not able to understand the topic that I today explained, not explained, I showed you partisans. It means you missed my partisan classes. So if you go to my YouTube partisans topic, I have started partisan topic from very zero. I highly recommend. A lot of things extra also, guys, you learn there. So first go to those classes, then come back. You will understand this part very easily. Social, you're talking about I am a user or I am user. So I am user, social has no link with Istro instance. There are two different concepts. So user that you log in into Istro instance is the OS users, and I am user that you create is it is for um, it is for your login into EC2 sorry AWS portal. Okay, so there are two different things. Thank you, Kanal, for this your suggestion here. I've tried actually multiple different things, yeah, for my cuff, but I definitely try this part also, this one also. We are getting a charge in AWS. I don't think so, guys. You will get a charge in AWS if you use anything apart from free tier. Definitely you'll get. So I suggest whenever you're doing anything, whatever I told you till now, everything was free. If you use the same features and options I explained you till date, but if you to use anything else, they might come with the charge. Nitish, key pair file, if you have in the CLI, you can use puttygen to convert, right? You to load it, right? I don't know what is issue. Just talk in some of your technical point. They will help you. Nothing special, guys. Somebody asked me, what's the name, a special meaning of Dave HDF. Even though if you know Linux, if you go to some of my other parts and classes, I explain you what is the meaning of HDF or VDF. But this does the Linux kernel actually given the parts hard disk a name due to some convention they use actually. What is the right meaning of OS got corrupt? There's a multiple meaning of OS got corrupt. Maybe hard disk fail, your C drive removed, some kind of some kind of main files removed of your OS. So when I say OS got corrupt, it I normally mean to say is your main C drive or slash drive corrupted and you have to reinstall the drive again. So here I mean to say you have to reinstall the OS again. Some important corruption happened. Yes, part updates of an L command will list out all the files, all the hard disks you have in the OS, right? But you have to log in with the root account. Okay. How to resolve 542 bad gateway. Normally, any error come of 500. Normally, in the server, you have some issue in the web pages. So maybe you have used some kind of server-side language, and there's some kind of issue in the code. Okay, so just I suggest just go and look at the code or web app that you have put in the web server. So empty path, how to hide a file in Apache server. There's multiple way we can hide. So if you know Apache server, there's a, a folder in the conf file. You can write some options in the HTTP conf file to not hide, like I think you're talking about block. So we can block some folder where we keep the file in the document root. So yes, Anyway, S3 is a global service. Why I say global? Because whatever data I put in S3, anybody in the world can use this. So S3 is a global service. I think you guys, I have given answer to you when because second time it will cache. So what is use of cloud for? So I think this answer I already ever given to you. First time any new image come up in the company website. First time the client on those location, the first client will have to wait for some millisecond, even though they are faster because both the edge location connected with the Amazon fast speed internet connectivity or network connectivity, but but all other clients in the future, maybe thousands of clients in that location, if they try to access the same image, they are super faster. So think you have hundreds and thousands of clients in that location, guys. So you will get your answer then. Yes, so Vivek, I have proof for this that CDN have a local caches. So tomorrow when I set up this, I will show you a way where you can check that CDN has created local caches in their local or nearby data center called edge location. But now edge computing is different or is in very different concept or very different, I can say, technology. Edge location is a different concept. So edge location has no link to the edge computing. So what is cache server? So with cache server is a different concept altogether. Okay. So here I have used the word called cache, but this cache is actually a content cache, means your file cache. Or when I say cache server, normally we use a cache server to manage the sessions, okay, or login sessions or cookie sessions, something like this. So when I go for topic or Redis or memcached, there I will explain you what actually a cache server. So how much time the data in the keep in the edge location, Nagesh asked me. That is tunable, Nagesh. There's a concept called TTL. I will explain you tomorrow. So it all depend where it all depend upon the expiry time. So we can set the expiry time with the concept called TTL. I will explain tomorrow what is the meaning of this and how we can set. No, guys, CloudFront is not only for S3. We can use CloudFront for other services also. Okay. For example, load balancer and other services. So when I go for my upcoming classes, I will show you how to integrate CloudFront with other services also. Yes, Avijit, in the terms of web server, you can put your web Python code also. So if you're following along the Python training on my IIC Rise, you might see there that I have done Python CGI training. So a Python CGI is like a web pages. So you can put all the Python CGI pages here. So I think guys, these some of the doubts you have. Some of the doubt you are asking me, it will be covered tomorrow. So guys, by tomorrow, all the concepts what you're asking me about CloudFront will be covered after we do the hands-on. Any other things that you're asking me, maybe in upcoming class it will be covered. So I just want to conclude guys for today's class, and uh, and see you tomorrow guys with the same timing, and we will see how this thing has been done. Okay, bye. Take care, guys. Good and good night.